Hello everyone and welcome back to the 2D platformer tutorial series. And in the last episode we got the player to move around and jump, and all these double jumps we got to work as well. So in this tutorial we will animate the player. I just made a little small animation here where you can see the armor moving up and down. But if you have your own character, you should be able to do it the same way. And after that, we will start on the coin system. Yeah, let's get to it. On the player, one thing that you will have to change. It was a mistake I did in the other tutorial. Here we had this player image before. You can remove that one. And on the player instead, you will have to add a component, a sprite renderer. And here you have to drag the character on instead, and then adjust the scale up here to 0.2, 0.2 again. And then you have to add an animator. Sorry, I already added it. I'll just remove it here so you can see. Then we have to add an animator to your player. Now we have it here. And then you have to open up the player movement script again. Let's find it here, the player controller script. And then you have to say private animator, and we will call it anim. And in the start function you have to say anim is equal to get component animator. So now we got access to the animator on the player. Save this and go back to Unity. Let's make a new folder called animations. Go into your sprite folder, click on all the sprites you have, pull them into the project. If you do it like this, it will automatically generate animation for you. Go to animation folder and call this let's just say player movement, and save it. Now you can just the one it's creating in the game, you can just delete that one. Now on your player, go to your animator, go to the animation folder. Here it has made a controller and an animation. Drag this controller to your player. Go to the animator tab. If you do not have the animator tab, you can go to Window, Panels, and you can find it up here. I would like to drag it over here to the right. So here you have your animation called player movement. Now right click, create state empty, and this one you will call idle. Now right click this one and set as layer default state. Make a transition to the movement and a transition back again. Then make a new ball here in the parameters, and this one we will call is walking. Now press this little white arrow, and here you will have to remove the has exit time, and it doesn't have any duration as well. And here in conditions we will need to say is walking is true, and the same the other way. Remove the has exit time and the duration to 0. And in conditions here we'll just say is walking is false. Now go back into your controller script again, and then in the update we will have to say anim.setBall is walking. And here it is very important that this text is exactly the same as you have here in the parameters, else it will not work. And here we will use our move input to activate it in which direction we are going. So save the script and go back to Unity. So now when we hit play, it should animate when we go right and left. Yeah, it does. Cool. So I actually changed my mind here because I think it's more important that we fixing the camera follow first before we are moving on to the coin system. So what we should do here is let's make a new script and call this camera follow. And open it up in Visual Studio. And here we will need a reference to our target. And then we will need a public vector3 called camera offset. And then we will need a float, and this is for the camera movement speed. We will call it speed. And then we need a vector3 velocity, and this is equal to vector3.0. So what clamps means is, if you go back to Unity, you can see the map is not larger than this right now. So the camera should not be able to move further than something like here. So when the player moves down here, the camera will not look like this. This looks weird. So if you open up the camera script again, we will need to have some floats for this. Public float x minimum, and we need public float for x maximum. We need a public float for y minimum, and we need a public float for the y maximum. So we can delete the start function and the update function, and here we'll need to make a private void called fixed update. And the fixed update is something that's happening before the update method. So here we'll have to say float x clamp is equal to our mathf.clamp, and here we need to clamp our target position x, and we will clamp that to our x minimum and to our x maximum. And here we can actually just copy paste this line, and here we have to do the same just for the y. The y minimum and the y maximum, the y position and a y clamp. When we have done that, we can say vector3 target position is equal to our target dot position plus our camera offset. Then we need the vector3 called clamp position or clamped position, and that is equal to our new vector3 mathf.clamp, and here we need to clamp our target position.x, our x minimum, our x minimum, we need to clamp the x maximum, and then we need to do the same for the y. So math f dot clamp our target position dot y, and we need to clamp it in the y minimum and the y maximum. And then we have to say -1, and this is our z axis. And then we need our vector 3, our smooth position. This will make a nice what do you say? The camera will follow you, so it have to smooth after you, so it's not. Yeah, you will see it in a moment. It's maybe easier when I show you. And here we will need a vector 3 dot smooth damp. We need to say transform dot position, and here we need our clamped position, and then we need a reference to our velocity. Sorry, my spelling. A ref to our velocity, and then we need our speed, and this we have to multiply with time dot delta time, and then we need to say transform dot position is equal to the smooth position. So if you save this, go back to Unity, on your main camera, drag the camera follower script. Here it will need a target. The target is of course your player. The speed is 10. So if you split your screen up like this and you take your main camera, zoom out here, remember to enable the gizmos, then you can see the boundaries of your camera. Then you can move your camera down here where you want it to start. Let's take something like this. So here you can see your X minimum there, and you can see your Y minimum there. And in this case, we will just put it up here. We do not need to right now to put it out here because we will do that later when we add more to the map. So here our X, or actually we can just do it right away. So this is the maximum up here. So the X will be this, the maximum value, and the Y maximum is this. So now when you hit play, let's see if it works. Yeah. You can see now the camera will not go outside. So if we jump, oh, I need to up my jump speed a bit. Let's make it 8. So now when we jump, you can see, and the camera will not go lower. This platform thing, we will fix that later. So if you see over here to the right, you can see the camera is following you, and you can see there's a bit delay on it. And that is the smooth. And this you can adjust on the speed. So if you put it like 1, you can see it's following you right away. And if you put it on, let's overdo it, on 30, you can see it's following you slowly. So this will just give a better effect when the camera is following you. So yeah, I think we will end the tutorial here. So now we got the camera fixed as well. So next time, I think it will be the coin system. Yeah, thanks a lot for watching, and remember to hit the like and subscribe button. And again, if you have anything that you want in your platformer game, then let me know in the comment, and I will implement it into this series. Thanks a lot.